Hello there and welcome to tutorial number 7 in this tutorial series. In this tutorial we will be going through services, and what we will do is that we'll be creating our own service. And if you don't know what a service is that it's actually another way of communicating in Ros. So earlier we've been using topics and a publisher and a subscriber. But what we will be doing now is that we will be creating a service which we will send some inputs to, and we will expect a response from it also. So the service that we are going to create today is just an addition. So we will send 2 integers to it and have it return a sum to us. So to do this, what we will be doing is that we will be creating a new folder in this tutorial 2 package. So I will call this folder SRV for service. And what I add in here is just like I added in the message in a previous tutorial. So here I will add a description of my service. So I will just create a new file. I will call it add to ints.srv like this. And what I want to add in here is just the description of this service, what inputs it will take and what it will output. So for the input, what I will receive, or actually what we call it request. So this is what I will send in. So what I want to send in is just an integer of 64, and I call this A, and I also want another integer called B. So this will be the input, and to separate the input from the output, what I do is that I just write 3 dashes like this, and then I write my output on this side of the lines. So here I will just write int 64, and I will call this sum. So this is everything that I need to describe my service with. So I will just save this one. And what I want to do now is that I want to create a service node. So we will be creating a new node. So to do this, you know the drill. We create a new file. We give it a name. So addition underscore service underscore node, I will call mine, .cpp. And what I want to do in here is just to add the default node code, which we have done before. So I will just copy the one from the subscriber node and add into here. And then I will remove this write message to log function. I also want to remove this subscriber here. And what we also want to do is that we want to change this include, because this includes the message which we created in previous tutorial. So we won't use this in this one. But instead, what we want to use is our new service description here. So add to ints.srv. And this will become an H file when we have built the package. So we'll just say add to ints.h like this. And I also want to change the name of it. So I won't be calling it subscriber anymore. I will just call it service underscore node like this. So what I want to do now is that I actually just want to add one line of code into this function, and that is that we need to create an object which is called Ros Service Server like this, and we'll just name it service. So this object we get from a function from the node handle. So we type nh like this dot advertise service. And this function takes 2 arguments, and the first one is the name of the service, which we will see in our service list. So we can just say that add to ints or something. And the other argument is the callback function. And as you know, if you've seen the subscriber node tutorial, this will be the callback function that we'll be calling each time we get a new call to this add to ints service. So we will just call this callback function add, and we'll be creating it soon. And the rest you can leave it as it is. So what we will do here is that we create this add callback function, and this one will be a return a boolean, and we call it add. And this function will take 2 arguments. So the first argument is the request. So we type it like this. Tutorial 2 add to ints, and it will be called request like request like this. And then we want to add this end sign and REQ like this one. And if you can guess, the other one is similar, so it's our response. So tutorial2 and 2 ints response, and we will call it just res like this. So in the request object here we have our input, so this is A and B, and in our response object we have the sum. So that's what we will be using. So we will say that our response object dot sum will be equal to our request object A plus our request object dot B like this. And that's everything we actually need to do. So then we will just return true, so that we executed our callback function. Okay, so this is everything we actually need to add to our service node. So we publish our service, which is called add2ints, and it has a callback function. So every time we call this service, we will execute this function. So, and what it will do is that it will respond with a sum, which is the 2 integers that we send in as input to this service. So the last thing that we need to do, you know the drill, we need to add our Cmake list. We need to edit this one. And what we need to do in here is just that we need to go down to here, add service files, line 57 for me. I guess it's similar to you. But so we're going to uncomment these ones. And in here, what we need to do is that we need to add our new service. So we'll remove this service 1 and service 2. And we will add 2 ints.xml, SRV, sorry. So when we have added the service, what we do is that we go down to the executable. So we need to add actually 3 things here. We will add an executable. So we copy this line here. Okay, so I'll make the copy first. So we copy the add executable. We'll need to this add dependencies. We'll need to add a line, so we just add it also, and we will also need one new of these target link libraries. And we of course need to do this for our new node, so in here I will add a name of our new node, which is addition service underscore node, so we add that one. And I will just copy this one here. So we'll need to change that one, and also this for the add dependencies. Like this, and then the last one here, target link libraries. So, and then we hit save. So what we can do now is just that we can build this project. And so what we do, we go to our workspace, tutorials, and in here I type catkin underscore make to build. And as we can see, it built successfully. So what we'll do to test this is that we are going to actually start a new terminal here where we will start our Ros core. So we start a Ros core, and then we also want to start this service. And to start the service, we first need to just source our devel setup.bash. And then we can run Ros run the package name, which is tutorial, what should see here, oh, I spelled it wrong, tutorial2. And what it is called is addition service underscore node, like this. And we run it. And as we can see, it doesn't print anything because we haven't set it to print anything. So to test this out, what we do is that we actually open a new terminal again. What we can do in here is that we call Ros Service List to list all of the running services in the Ros core. So I will run this command, and I can see that we have 5 services running at the moment. So we have some loggers, and we have one service which is called add_2 ints. And this is the service that we just created. So we will try to call this service. And to do that, what we do is that we type Ros service call, and then the name of the service. So add 2 ints like this. And then if we hit tab one more time, we can see that we have the input arguments here. So we have A and B. So I will just put 5 here, and then I will put 10 here. So 5 plus 10 is 15, so hopefully it will return a sum of 15. So I just hit enter, and we can see that it returned sum 15. So our service works properly. So we have just created a Ros service, and in the next tutorial what we will be doing is that we'll be creating a new node which will be using this service. And that's everything for today. So I hope you like this tutorial, and if you do, please hit like on this video and consider subscribing. I really appreciate it, and I think it's really motivating. So otherwise, see you in the next tutorial.